Okay, welcome to the new recording. The extended analysis video here as the final moments of this big game are here. Let's see what happens. 2nd and 6. Ross is dropped in the backfield. 3rd and 6 at the 49. The Voyagers, man, it's just not been a good game. If this is your first time seeing, this game, it's not been a pretty one, man. I'm telling you. Harris just returned a 90-plus yard interception to the house, and Paris was on, or San Diego was on some kind of a roll, and that was the closest to a touchdown catch we've seen all day. Ferguson drops it right in his hands, just can't hold on. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Rush stepping up. He's going to get sacked before he can throw it. Timeout taken. And the fourth quarter has been not so apologetic. 6-27. The Dreadknots have been loving it so far. Here's 3rd and 16. Rush runs right into Brian Burns, and he goes down. 4th and 25, the final play that they're going to be able to run here if they can't pick up a first down. Big throw. Pass is caught by CeeDee Lamb, and he's not able to go any further. This game is officially over. The kneel down here by Drew Lock, and the Dreadknots should do it. Paris coming away with a huge win at home. They will be able to move up big time to start off. We'll see what happens through the rest of this week, but the Dreadknots have secured at least a 3rd position in the MNFC East. Dak Prescott still in his gear. He's just really upset that he couldn't do anything, and Cooper Rush has to be disappointed in himself too. But Drew Lock, let's talk about that, man. Drew Lock was insane. This defense got after it today. Malik Neighbors got a huge touchdown to start off that 3rd quarter run. Micah Parsons and Cooper Rush certainly having some big conversations, and that 90-plus yarder to seal the game indefinitely. So, because this is extended analysis, I'm going to take a little longer for the analytics. Of course, if you don't want it, you just came for the final points of the game, you can leave, but that should gain me my viewership anyways, and that's what we're looking for, man. Just a bunch of views, bunch of likes. Get me up on the algorithm. Cooper Rush, though, let's see here. 0 touchdowns, 227 yards, and a 46.2 completion percentage, so that doesn't look great. Drew Lock, 2 touchdowns, 225 yards, 52% in his completion percentage. As we take a look at the rest of the players' stats, we're going to see, who's hurt, who's not. Dak Prescott is definitely injured. Into this game, 5 for 5.
Lock.
Yep. Drew the man Lock, man. He's got a 92.6 QBR rating. Cooper Rush, man, I'm telling you. Throwing 3 interceptions, this is perfect rating right here. 34.7 QBR.
I'm not expecting him to be the only QB next week. I'm not expecting that.
Yeah, I think they're going to probably be looking for something else.
He's from Central Michigan, too. That was his college. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. Dak Prescott ended the game out 5 for 5, 37 yards, 100% completion rate. He actually got a high QBR rating, higher than the rest, 97.5 QBR. No touchdowns, no interceptions, of course. 7.4 and 14 yards was his longest pass before he got injured, which all Voyagers fans are hoping he comes back with a speedy recovery. Rushing, Tyrone Tracy Jr. also on the IR, so a bunch of injuries floating around in this game. Taking a look at his workload, though, 17 attempts, 68 yards, so he wasn't really used that much in the second half, but man, was he overworked in that first one. That could have been a main reason, too, why he went and got injured. 4 yards on average, so not exactly what you want out of a great game, but a good game nonetheless. 32 yards on... Let's see here, hold on a second. Yards after contact is what I'm looking for, thank you. 32 yards after contact. Longest run of the day, it says 9. So, yeah. Anyways, Deuce Vaughn, 5 attempts, 7 yards, and 1.5 yards on average. But, yeah, 6 yards after contact, 5 yards, the longest run of the day for him. And other than that, I mean, Drew Lockett ran 4 times, 18 yards on all those runs, of course. Devin Singletary actually got in there, and that's who the Dreadknots are probably going to replace Tracy Jr. with. So if you're a Singletary fan, of course, tune in for that. Hunter Luke, I think that's maybe how you say his name. 4 attempts, 11 yards, 2.7 yards on average, and 3 yards after contact. His longest run of the day was 8. Rico Dowdle also went out for the Voyagers. That was their starter. So, not looking good for him either. He went 6 yards before he was injured. A 1.5 yard on average. No touchdowns, no fumbles, broken tackles. Yards after contact, he had 6. 20-plus yards. Longest run of the day was 8. So, I don't understand how that really works, but yeah. Receiving-wise, CeeDee Lamb definitely stands out. 126 yards, 10 receptions, 12.6. No touchdowns, of course. No one scored a touchdown for the Voyagers today. 21 run after catch. Average was 2.1. He had 2 drops on the day, one of which including a very open touchdown. That could have been... I don't know. That might have been the interception earlier. We'll take a look. But 26 yards was his longest reception of the day. And Jonathan Mingo, 5 receptions, 51 yards, 10.2 on average, no attempts, or no touchdowns. 20 run after catch yards there, and rack average was 4 flat in yards, of course. No drops, 33 yards was his longest catch of the day. Jake Ferguson, 4 receptions, 32 yards, 8 average yards, of course, for him. No touchdowns. He was on the Voyagers. That makes sense. 10 run after catch, and the rack average was 2.5. Excuse me. If it was 10.5, we'd be in another place right now. But anyways, 3 drops. 10 yards was his longest reception, so he didn't have exactly that great of a game. Brandon Cooks didn't have that much. Theo Johnson, Rico Dowdle before he went out had 8 yards after 3 receptions, 2.6 yards on average, no touchdowns, of course, Voyagers. 3 run after catch yards there, and he only had 1 average, no drops, and 7 yards his longest. Wandale Robinson, who we've seen in motion a couple of times, 3 receptions, 26 yards, 8.6. No touchdowns for him, which is a little bit more surprising because he was on that starting receiver core. But 7 run after catch yards and 2.3 on average. No drops, 11 yards. His longest reception of the day. Darius Slayton, 36 yards, his longest. We did see him go out for just a bit. He ended up being okay. 2 receptions, 59 yards, 29.5 yards on average. So if you're only going to have 2 receptions, that's got to be your stat line, man, because that's crazy. No touchdowns, though. something I would definitely change. 11 rack yards, 5.5 rack yards on average. One drop today. 36 yards his longest. And then Malik Neighbors. This is who will probably turn everything to. 2 receptions, 88 yards, 44 yards on average. 1 touchdown, 17 run after catch yards there, and 8.5 run after catch average. 1 drop, and 77 yards his longest. And obviously guys like Avante Turpin caught a pass, Daniel Bellinger, Tyrone Tracy Jr. before he went out. He only had 4 run after catch yards, which is weird because it only says he has 1 yard there. A little interesting. Hunter Lupke or something like that. No receptions, nothing there. He did have 1 thrown his way, ended up being dropped, so definitely not something you want to see there. And yeah, after all of that, we're just gonna check for injuries. You know, I don't usually look at the blocking. Nothing there. Okay, defensively, I'll call out the touchdowns. Okay, Adoree Jackson, or I'm sorry, interceptions. 2 interceptions, 101 yards for Adoree Jackson in interception yards. His longest interception return. I don't know why it says LG. That's a little weird. 94 yards, and that was the 90-plus yarder interception I was talking about, but still pretty insane. Eric Kendricks, no INTs. Trayvon Diggs. Drew Phillips had 1 interception, went for 11 yards. That was obviously his longest of the day. And what is this? Okay, pass deflections. He had 2 of them. So, not bad. Deontay Banks, no interceptions. Bobby, no interceptions. Michael McFadden. Kalen Carson had no interceptions. Deron Bland, surprisingly, no interceptions there. Donovan Wilson had 1 interception. He returned that one for 4 yards. Kayvon Thibodeau ended up having no interceptions as well. Keep on going. No one else had interceptions, I do not think. So, yeah. Kicking wise, this is a big shock. For whatever reason, it's saying he only made a 53-yard long field goal. I refuse to buy that. I literally watched him kick a 58-yarder. Graham Gano somehow kicked a 49-yarder before, must not have seen it, but, or maybe I did, I don't know. Maybe that was his first field goal, but he made way less than that. Anyways, punting wise, everything looked good. Brian Anger, of course, you got these returners here. The longest return of the day was by Jordan Lewis. He went for 25 yards, and punt return longest of the day was Adoree Jackson's 12-yard reception. Return. And other than that, that concludes the extended analysis. Thank everybody for watching. Cooper Rush, Drew Lock had 1 heck of a slug out. No touchdowns able to be made for the Voyagers. Tons coming for Drew Lock and the Dreadknots.
It is Drew the Man Lock.
Okay, sorry, it's Drew the Man Lock. I need to say that right. We can actually take a look at the scoring summary before we go here. Paris had 10 points for 2 quarters, by the way. So 20 of those points coming from the second and fourth quarter. Nothing scored in the first, like I said. And the only time the Voyagers scored really was, 3 for 3. And that 77-yard pass from Drew Lock definitely was a beauty. Reception, or an interception for 94 yards. Graham Gano kicked was up and good.
Yeah, these
that
highlights
was crazy.
are about to be biased to the Paris Dreadnoughts, honestly.
Which it can't really be biased. I mean, when you think
really
about
can't,
it really
but
can't.
when you look at score-wise.
I mean, yeah,
94-yard pick
listen,
six right there. Holy.
you really can't have a biased scoreboard, okay? You either score or you don't. That's the main thing here, okay? But anyways, after saying that, me and Ice are saying so long. These highlights are about to go crazy for week
From Paris.
or the game 1 of week 4. We'll see you later from Paris. Bye bye.